Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Kenny Conversation, brought to you by Jegs, the leader in high-performance aftermarket car parts. Remember to go to jegs.com for everything you need this holiday season, especially for your car or that hot rod that you have. Well, you're looking at him, one of my favorite people in life and one of the greatest racing promoters of all time, the owner of the Clarksville Speedway in Clarksville, Tennessee, William Scogin. William, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Kenny.
Yeah.
Great.
Your face looks a little cherry red. You been out in that weather? Or
some people's got to work. Just because you sold the place don't mean you're going to quit. I still got Christmas lights set up, cleaning parking lots, rolling gravel,
Yeah. Okay, everybody, listen. Breaking news in the garage area. The man you're looking at, William Scogin, in our world is well respected. He revolutionized promoting at dirt track because, as we all know, you can't just promote dirt cars going around the racetrack. And very emotional night, William. I'm just going to set it up and you kind of tell everybody. The city of Clarksville, Tennessee, was right on your back straightaway. We saw the homes off your back straightaway. Did the Clarksville, Tennessee people, did they need your land, and why did you sell?
Okay, so they're going to put 5 lanes in just below me and come right by me. So they're taking the backstretch.
Lord.
This has been a back and forth situation. Yes, I probably did go to them. Yes, this was 6 years in the making. We struck a deal. I kind of didn't want to go with the deal. They had 2 options. They didn't have to take me. They could save me, but they choose not to. It's just one of those things. It's bittersweet, but I've been doing this 26 years, so it's nothing lasts forever, and sooner or later you have to retire a little bit. I've had 2 heart attacks. When you work 8 days a week, and people say there ain't 8 days, but buy you a racetrack, you'll find 8 days to work.
So, let's stay right there for a little bit, William, on a very serious note. We watched Tony Stewart buy Earl Baltus's Eldora Speedway because it was time. And that's what you always hear. Earl says it's time. So he found a buyer. It was Tony Stewart. Now, last year and all this year, Kenny Schrader and his partner, Ray Marlar, said it's time. So that's the second time that I've heard, people that have owned racetracks for 30 years go, it's time. So do you feel like it was time?
I did, but I don't know. I mean, yeah. I really don't know my next chapter. I don't really have a game plan. I still get to run the drag strip for another year. I still get to do autocross, drifting, the fair, all the stuff I do except the dirt track. The dirt track is the only thing going right now. I still get another year and 6 months when they haven't purchased me yet. All the contracts are signed because, like I said, I had to give them a signature.
Yeah.
For some reason, you make these deals up, and to make a long story short, I had another buyer come in, was going to give me extra time, but they kind of wouldn't let that go through. They kind of said, no, you're not doing that. After I went down to the mayor's office and sat and talked to them and made sure he didn't have a problem. But there's always some backdoor stuff going on, so it's just one of those things. I don't know the next chapter. I don't know if it's time. I don't really know what I'm doing, but it is what it is. We're going to roll with it and see how it falls out.
We kept hearing about this road. Now, straighten me out. Help me. I read the article. Is the road called Needmore?
What? Yeah, they need more road.
and it is called Needmore, I think.
It is. It need more road.
This is the big controversy, that a damn road called Needmore. Tell me about this damn road. Where's it at?
Well, it's right here beside the racetrack. It goes right alongside of the the connexes on the backstretch separate the road from me.
Right.
So when you take the connexes out, I mean, the storm come by. About 5 years ago, I had a tornado come through here, put the bleachers in the grandstands and all the connexes in the middle of the road. So,
right.
By the way, I didn't miss a week. I still raced the next weekend. I never missed a week on a tornado or nothing. So
And we are going to get to that. And listen up, everybody. Here's the notes. We are going to one by one celebrate the man you're looking at. He's not done. He's got a lot to do, but we're just, this is big news. This is breaking news in the garage area. One of the most legendary dirt tracks of its time. Let's go to this final night, as you called it. We looked on Facebook, and whoever does your Facebook said, come on out for the final night. 183 race cars and a massive crowd. It looked like a lot of emotion. And take your time on this, William. Tell me about this final night.
Kenny, here's what I want to say. I didn't know how to expect it. Let's back up a week.
Okay.
Let's really back up a week. I had a free night the week before. Fan appreciation night. I didn't charge anybody to get in, pits nor grandstands. I was trying to do it on a Saturday night, but it rained, so I moved it to Sunday night. 40-something degree weather, a little rainy, 97 race cars racing for trophies only. That was 2 weeks ago. Then we follow up with this, and you're sitting here trying to figure out how to run concessions out, how to do this, and you don't really know. The problem is you advertise open the gates at 2. I think I opened about 12:15, and I couldn't get them in fast enough. I was at the back gate selling tickets. I was watering a racetrack. Then I was running over here trying to park cars. The challenge of trying to do what we do is really, really tough on a limited help, limited everything, because you just can't afford to pay everybody what they need. I know racetracks get a bad name for not paying much, but it is what it is. So we just try to survive. But it was a long, drawn out day. And honestly, the last race got rained out. I didn't even know it was going to rain. I done started drinking because I needed to. And I didn't realize, I was talking to somebody, I looked up and I seen the lightning across the sky and horizon. I'm going like, what? It's going to rain? And so I was hurrying them up. I got them ready. I said, drop the checkered on that race. We got to get to the next. 3 laps and a street stock feature. It rained. The funny thing about this, the very, very first race I ever had, 26 years ago, it rained, and it was on the street stocks. And I lost $10,000. And I'm out in the rain picking up trash going like, wow, is this really how this goes? So you learn over time just to do things at a racetrack to make it better, or you hope it's better. So, but the last night was a great night, great people, great support, everybody coming by saying this and that. I mean, I do appreciate everybody that's come by. I don't get on Facebook a lot because all you see is people on there that really don't know really what's going on. They don't understand. So I try not to comment. I catch myself typing in stuff and then deleting it just so I said it to myself. Because all you gotta do is get in an argument with people that don't know what's going on.
They don't know nothing, and they didn't make it through grade school. They can't spell right, and then what happens is the next day, let's say there's 100 people, and they respond, and there'll be 1 or 2 people, and the next day you'll see somebody, and they'll say, "Man, did you see William or Wallace getting lit up?" And I'm like, "You mean those 2 people?" Isn't it funny? We will take 2 negative people and act like the world is down on us, but really it's just dumb people.
Well, believe it or not, a while ago I seen a post where a guy back in 2020 when the city put something out, they bought it. I kept telling everybody they ain't done it yet, and they still ain't done it. We got contracts signed, but money has not changed. This is what in the drivers' meeting I kept telling everybody: listen, here's where we are. I knew in July I was never going to get another Summer National. So that's when I started advertising last Summer National, last this, last that. Yeah. Well, when it got to this race, I told them in the driver's meeting, I had 2 driver's meetings on Saturday. I had one for the late models and one for my classes. I told them all in the driver's meeting, first of all, I didn't care if they was mad or not. Didn't matter. They wasn't coming back.
Right.
So
finally,
I said, listen, I said, here's the thing. They're telling me in January they're going to put this 5 lanes in. But the funny thing about it, I had a lady, I know most of the people up and down the road, so a lady called me, I don't know, a month ago and said, listen, they have stopped buying land up and down the road. Right-of-ways, because they got to buy the right-of-ways, put the road in. I said, so, okay. So I text the mayor right then. said, hey, is the road project still on for January? He said, oh, absolutely. But he's telling me one thing, they're telling me something else. So I'm saying that was the last race, and I really believe it's the last race because all the stuff I did for the last race, I will honor it if I ever raced again here. If, say, I could throw another toilet bowl in, I would. And I would take, like, the last ride I got. I made the guy a little plaque.
Yeah.
To hang on his wall. The last hot dog made a plaque.
Really neat.
I would honor that and move it to the new date. So, but
well,
I don't really think we're going to get it in. I really don't. But it's just hard to say because the money hadn't changed hands, and anything's possible with the government.
Okay, let's just say this, everybody. First of all, William, you're no dummy. You're a brilliant man. You're acting all country on me, which is fine because you are a country boy. But you had to sign something.
I did.
So you're saying things are signed, but you haven't received the money, and we understand that. I just wanted to remind everybody that he had to sign papers. Everybody, I read the article from the mayor, so it is out there. There is a big article out there. You sign the papers. I want to tell everybody this. I won a plunger. I've won 3 races at your racetrack. That plunger is one of my prized possessions, and it is up at my shop. So that was like on a Friday night, the plunger. And then on Saturday night is the toilet bowl. Let's go right there because you're talking about that right now. How did this legendary race, what is that, in March?
February, March, yeah. As soon as I can get it going.
Tell me about the plunger is the night before. How the hell did you come up with a toilet bowl? Now that's country as all get out.
Well, Kenny, when I said I bought the racetrack, I was going to the God's honest truth. I said that to a number of people. I've been in racing all my life. We've done asphalt. I sold parts. I've done a little bit of everything. So I know buying a racetrack was not the smartest move in anybody's world. So when I did it, I said, I'm going to the crapper on this. So that's how I come up with it.
I'll be darned.
One of those things you just kind of come up. Everybody should do that every once in a while.
So listen, we're not going to talk and then it be over. I'm going to get into your mind a little bit. So this promoting, I say that you've revolutionized promoting, and here's why. And we're going to get to this in a minute. Okay, here's the reason you really revolutionized promoting, because you realize you can't make money just with race cars on a dirt track. So these are some of the, hold on, let me set you up. At your racetrack, you have dirt racing, drag racing, carnivals, the Christmas lights is a big one, drifting, flea market. Okay, now don't laugh, everybody. Don't laugh. But I think you had lesbian roller derby at the big barn as you pull in the barn right there. Tie boats and drag around the racetrack. You gave tampons away because some of the people would whine and cry, so you give them a tampon. You had the toilet bowl and the plunger, and I added this one on. I've watched you scrape snow off the racetrack so you could run this plunger. I mean, what is it like to be a promoter? I want to get down into it. And this is why I told everybody what you do. How bad is it to be a promoter at a dirt track?
Well, all right. So let me just start with an average week. How about that? If we start on a week, let's start on Sunday because you're done Saturday. Now, Sundays, I run 4 to 6 events every week. I'm probably the only drag strip that runs 2 shows in one day. On a Friday night. I do an early show and a late show. I do a bracket show or run them guys out, and I got a whole new show called Midnight Madness coming in. So that's on Friday. So let's get to Sunday. Sunday, I either drift, autocross, or do them at the same time. I can do that. Or have a gun show or whatever, because we do gun shows here too. But
darn.
But Monday, you're trying to go to the bank. You're trying to get everything kind of fixed back up to get ready for Wednesday, because I start racing on Wednesday technically. So Monday is the day you fix everything, go to the bank, you get all your paperwork done. Tuesday, you fix your broke stuff. Wednesday, you're drag racing. Thursday, you're going like, Oh, hell, I forgot this. Getting food in, that. Friday comes, you're prepping the drag strip for 2 shows. Saturday comes, you're at the dirt track. Now, in amongst of all this, you have anywhere from 30 to 60 employees.
Oh my.
And so let's just take the dirt track, because that's what we're really here talking about.
Yeah, but that's what you're famous for. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm okay. So the dirt track is, here comes Saturday night. Gates open at 4. At 3:30, 3:45, you don't have this help. You don't have that help. So you're over here trying to get this person to do this and that. And the problem with what we have nowadays, I would like to think I'm kind of an old school promoter, but I'm also a new school promoter. Old school promoters done everything by pen and paper. We do everything by computer now.
You've showed me. I've seen it.
If the computer goes down like it did Saturday night, somebody has to fix that. Well, guess who has to fix that? Me, because they don't have time. And then you got to have that certain person working on it. And then you can't just pull somebody out of a job to put them over here because they don't know nothing about the job. So my hat, and anybody that owns a racetrack, whether it be dirt or asphalt, I can count 30 or 35 jobs they do in a night. Honestly,
yeah.
We are EMTs, we're police, we're referees, we're a banker, we're a gates person, we're a bathroom cleaner, we're a cooker. I mean, Saturday night, there's nothing I didn't do. I don't think I cooked a hamburger, but
you said you're a banker, and now there might have been other racetracks, but I remember you being one of the first racetracks. You get people that come to the racetracks like, oh, I don't got enough cash, and I think you're one of the first people to set up an ATM machine. Are you?
I got 4 ATMs on dollies. We can carry them around anywhere. I don't know why any racetrack don't have their own ATMs. I used to not use credit cards. I do use a credit card at the front gate, but credit cards cost us money. ATMs make us money. And I'm in a military town where most of the banks give it back. So if you go to use an ATM, they give you your money back. So it's like free money.
So I want all the promoters, they're going to be listening to this. We realize that the race cars going around in a circle is kind of a dead business, except for like Eldora, the Kings Royal, the Dream, Knoxville Nationals. We realize the premier dirt races are doing good, but for the most part, local racing is dead. And I said it. I've won enough races all across the United States. I have the authority. I am a badass. I said it. Local racing's dead. But William, what I'm bragging on you. What you're teaching these tracks right now is, if they have these facilities, can they do what you've done? I mean, Peebly's got a drag strip. They're drafting now, or drifting. It seems like Josh Carroll could be copying you. Have you talked to Josh Carroll?
Me and Josh talk a lot. I like Josh. Of course, I called him the other day and said, really, you booked a race on top of my last race? I said, so. But not that I was just giving him a hard time. Look, he has picked up a lot and understands you can't just run one time a week. You have to run multiple things. You have to use your property for every ounce it can get. The key to this, now, 2 weeks ago I did donuts. I also do donuts.
What? Tell me more.
Yeah. I
give who is that in the background? Get her over here. Who is that?
No, she's okay. She's just back here. She likes to charm me.
Tell her she's gonna be on Dirty Mo Meter. Dale Jr. might see her.
So donuts is a new thing. So what have you seen the parking lot takeovers?
Oh, donuts in a car. Okay, no, go ahead, keep talking.
Donuts, and if you look at the towns, they're taking these parking lots and taking them over. These kids,
illegally in the city of St. Louis.
I got it legal. I do it here legal.
Donuts
can't get them in fast enough. And guess what? Cars? Yes, and guess what? You don't pay them to leave.
Oh my gosh! And they're excited. They're going to spend some money. And how many cars do you get to do these donuts?
80 to 100.
What the hell? Are you kidding me?
Nope.
So where did you dream this up? You just saw everybody, these kids creating
Just-
chaos in the
just gotta-
cities, and you're like, come
Yeah.
over here.
So what I do is, so the problem with owning a racetrack, we don't know enough. Like, okay, so I know the dirt side, I know the drag strip side, but when you start going into these drifting, these donuts and stuff like that, autocross, I'm not in that group. So you have to get somebody that is to help you do this, and that's what I've done.
Them.
You grab somebody in that community and say, okay, here's what we're going to do, and you make it safe. And trust me, the donuts is the hardest event I do because they don't want to be safe.
They just want to wreck everything.
They just want. I put blocks in the middle where the media can go out and be right by the car. But I got these 4,000-pound blocks that are round. And if somebody does it wrong, I make them have their seatbelt on. I make them where they can't hang out of the car. And if I walk down there and see you hanging out of the car, we're fixing to have a fight.
And they're all about Instagram. It's all for the Instagram.
It is. It is. I'm telling you, Kenny. Well, here, let me see. I took a video of the last one I just did.
Yeah,
I'll probably see it on my phone.
So everybody on Dirty Mo, they won't be able to see this, but the Kenny Wallace YouTube show people, yeah, put it right up here. Let me see. Oh my God, look at this.
This is donuts,
and you can see the smoke above the red barn there.
Yeah, they're down there doing that right there in that parking lot. So I'm selling concessions is what I'm doing. You're fixing to see my mobile concessions.
you got the.
I'm running around selling mobile concessions because here's the thing. It was a little rainy this day, and I didn't know how many people was going to show up because I don't really have a good gauge on this.
Yeah.
So I didn't have my concession help come in. So I'm selling concessions out of the back of a mule.
You do not mess around.
But honestly, that's a pretty good crowd. That's not the biggest crowd, but that's a pretty good crowd.
Okay, let's regroup here, everybody. You're looking at him, one of the greatest promoters of our time, William Scogin, owner of Clarksville Speedway in Clarksville, Tennessee. The city has signed paperwork with him. They're buying the racetrack, but you've revolutionized the dirt tracks because you have these people like Kankakee, and they've been through so many promoters. Oh, we can't make it. And here you are going, no, y'all aren't thinking right. You can make it. And what I like what you just said was they're not utilizing their property to their full potential. Dirt racing or racing should be, I'm going to ask you this question. When you own a racetrack, should that be just a part of that property?
No, you got to do everything. You have to do everything you can to bring in revenue. The problem with dirt track racing and drag racing is you got to pay them back. You got to pay them to leave. This is where most people miss the boat. So when you look at a Lucas Oil World Outlaw Hunt the Front purse, let's say it's $10,000 to win.
Yeah,
it costs the racetrack 5 times that amount. So if you say it's $10,000 to win, the racetrack has to pay $50,000 because they got to pay everybody to leave.
Yeah.
So when you start looking at these purses, you look at modified purses, all these other purses, and you average this out. I think I have tried to look at it from their point of view and our point of view. There's 4 people that I look at when I schedule an event. There's me, the fans, the drivers, and my sponsors. In any given schedule I have done, I have tried to make sure I trigger one of them. Now, it may not be for me. It may be for the fans. Summer Nationals is a prime example. I've had a Summer Nationals here ever since I own it, and I think it's been one of the tracks that's always had a Summer Nationals. The Lowell back in a few years ago, Sam has got that thing going good now, but back it was no money to be made. You lost money. You went backwards. But I did it because of the fans. I am the only track in Tennessee that runs supers every weekend.
Mm.
And without supers, you're not going to have the Lucas Oil, the World Outlaw Hunt the Front, and people like that. You're not in the regional series, the Mars and stuff like that. And we got to keep these things up, and we got to keep them going. So you have to have that stuff to make the dirt tracks better because grassroots racing is in trouble.
Yeah, and I've said that. Let's talk about Sam Drigger. Okay, so for everybody, listen up here. Here's the way it goes. Just to give everybody an example, you got the NFL, NHL, NASCAR. in dirt racing, we have what's called dirt car. And under dirt car owns the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, the World of Outlaw Late Models, the Super Dirt Car Series, and they also own UMP Dirt Car. It's called United Midwest Promotions. Now, the guy that runs that is Sam Drigger. Sam Drigger, I got off the phone with him, and I said, tell me about William. He says, I've known William for 25 years, and he's one of the best guys in the sport. He says, William tries to act all country and everything. He said, but he's brilliant. That's what Sam Drigger said about you. He said, you like to act country, but you're brilliant, and you've been the best thing that's happened for dirt racing. And he also laughed because how you've done things, your way. Tell me about your relationship since you just brought it up. Tell me about these summer nationals and when you first made your deal for the summer nationals.
Well, I mean, I think the Summer Nationals is a great deal for super late models. It's probably one of the better things going on in our country because they go to track after track after track after track, and the
Hell Tour.
It is a grind, and most people don't realize how hard that is to do for these teams. So kudos to everybody that does it. And now Sam has got, the way he structured it and the way he's done it is good. Because Sam don't get enough credit. There's nobody in the country that can do Sam's job.
But he's the bad guy.
I don't know of one other guy. I've tried to, we all talk about it when we sit down and talk about things. And who could take Sam's place? We're all getting older. We're not going to last forever. I don't know of anybody can do Sam's job.
And take the abuse that he takes.
Oh, yeah. Because he's got to deal with racetracks. He's got to deal with drivers. And let's face it, some of these drivers just don't like us sometimes.
Well, they think, let me talk to you about this. Isn't it strange that, and I'm a racer, right? But I owned Macon Speedway in Macon, Illinois. I was with, I know just a little bit about promoting. I don't claim to know anything but
didn't you own Paducah too?
No, I never owned Paducah, but I was part of it was Tony Stewart, Bob Sargent, Schrader, myself. We all put in a good amount of money, built it up, and then like Bob Sargent said, and you've said it too, there's always somebody smarter than us. So here, buy it. And of course, we sold it, and now it's buried. They destroyed it. But these racetracks, let's get back to what I'm talking about. Isn't it strange that if you buy a boat and you go to the lake, you spend $40,000 on a boat, you go to the lake.
No, it's 100, Kenny. It's not 40, it's 100.
But if you buy a race car and you go to the racetrack, you want to get paid. It blows me away. What's that all about?
Well, I think 2 weeks ago I proved it's not about money. I really
keep going.
I really say it's not about money. We use that. I think the drivers use that excuse. I'm not saying everybody's that way, but on the local level, this is a drug for these guys.
Yes,
they have to get their fix in, and I don't mean that in a bad way. By no means. We use the drug aspects as everybody understands. Drugs take over your life, and that's what racing does. It takes over because it's about the win.
Yeah,
it's about I can win.
Yes.
The money's gone.
You're right. 110%.
The money is gone.
Right.
Yes.
You're so
right. You
right.
need the money, but the money's gone. It's the win. I have not been a guy that wants to pay a lot. I don't pay a lot. I got the Bob Sargent mentality on that.
IMCA, Lottie. We're paying
There's
$300.
Nothing wrong with that. This is where I'm old school.
Yeah.
Old school versus new school. Why pay $30,000 when you can pay $10 and have the same cars
or more?
Yeah, 30 is going to run off your local guys. 10 may get some of them here.
Yes,
I have always disagreed with that, and I get in arguments with my own groups about this. You don't have to pay that much to do it because the object of what we're doing is to get people there, and if you're running people off by too much, it just don't work. So.
Well, that is so true. I mean, I go to these racetracks and they'll go $10,000 to win 2-day show. And the first thing they complain about? It's a 2-day show. I've got to buy 2 sets of pit passes and And the racer, you're right. If you dumb it down, then they'll show up. It is a wild phenomenon, and we aren't thinking right. But you're right. If you say 10 grand to win, nowadays you don't get very many cars because the local racer thinks, oh, I can't compete against Mike Harrison. So they stay home.
Well, the next thing is with the World Outlaw, Lucas, Hunt the Front, and all of them. If you're not tagged to one of them, you're not going to get them guys to move the needle. In other words, point. I could run a 50,000 to win. Me and Dale McDowell, we was talking one day, and Dale says, I don't think all the money should be up top; it should be down below. I agree with that. But what I told him was the problem. Like me, if I don't have a World Outlaw Lucas or Hunt the Front or something of that nature, I don't get the drivers.
Yeah.
So you have to. I would have to pay more to get them on an off day, which there ain't no off days anymore. We race 24/7. So it's just one of those things that you need. We need the grassroots to make the other stuff better. You really got to have that.
Okay, I want to change lanes now. Let's clean the slate. I want to talk about some things that I've personally watched you do that just made my jaw drop. I want to go back to about, 7 years ago. We are in Nashville, Tennessee at the legendary Fairgrounds. but what you helped do. Now, I know it was a money loser. Hold on. Let me paint the picture.
You still got the Vaseline?
I definitely got screwed, but
you still got the Vaseline.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay. For you, you put a lot of work into it. You put a lot of man hours. But let me explain to everybody what I witnessed. The World of Outlaw Sprint Cars said, we are going to go downtown Nashville, Tennessee to the legendary fairgrounds. We're going to put dirt on the quarter mile. They called you up. They said, William, you can do it all. We need to get dirt on this quarter mile. So they said, let's bring the modifieds in for a filler series. So we do. And they sell the place out. 10,000 people. I mean, it looked to me like it was the most successful dirt racing show in the history of dirt racing. But later that night, you were said, oh, God, Kenny, it was horrible. Tell me about that moment, because what I want to show everybody is that in the industry, they call you when the impossible needs to be done. Tell me why a place was sold out but was no good.
I don't know if we want to really go down that road, but the problem is it costs so much to do what we do. The time, and that was a little argument back from who had the racetrack to what we was doing at the racetrack. There's a lot of controversy on the time frame. In other words, we could only go here, do this. That's why you guys got cut short, is because of the time. They wasn't telling all the time stuff, and it was just a nightmare because some people wanted to do it and some people didn't. So Bob has done a great job in Nashville. I wish we'd do it again. And I told him we should do it again, but then they started Bristol. Right. So, but then they started Bristol, so I think that kind of killed the mode of it. But back to that, it was just a lot of work and a lot of time. I mean, the night before or the week before when we did our test night, I had 120 or 30 cars, local cars.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to go back and look at the numbers, and then of course we come to the next weekend. It was a sellout deal. It was good. It was good. It just didn't bring enough money. Huh?
Did you lose money on, or did they lose money on it because you had to bring the dirt so far away? It was just so many men.
The dirt was in Nashville. I had a guy in Nashville. I went through like 4 people, and me and him become good friends. The one that put the dirt down, super guy. It just costs a lot to do that, and
I get it.
When you double and triple up things, it just makes it harder. And everybody, I don't know what they lost. That's really on the World Outlaw and them, but they said they didn't make any money, but I don't know. I wasn't on the back end of all that. I just know what they owed me when we got done and everything. So it's just one of those things.
Okay, let's move on to something totally different. I just wanted to highlight the things that you're capable of doing. Now, the next one blows me away. We talk about how you can just do everything. This is me. I'm bragging on you, William. In early January, we will go to the Dirt Car Banquet awards ceremony, and there will be hundreds of people there. We'll all be collecting our championship checks, and trophies are everything because the money's gone. We all become a grandma, a grandpa, and you're like, "You're here, kid. Look at my trophy." And I'll be damned if it just blew my mind that you, William, you're the one that builds these trophies. I just cannot get over that you do all this stuff. So how in the hell did you start building trophies? You build hundreds, thousands of them.
Sam called me one time. I don't know. I can go back and look at my notes. I'm not good on notes anymore. Back in the day, a long, long time ago, he said, "Hey, can you go pick up some trophies and bring them to me?" So I went over and picked them up, and I'm going like, "Sam, why are you paying this guy? I can do this." So that's kind of how it got started. The biggest problem with the UMP banquet, matter of fact, the IMC banquet may be as big, if not bigger.
Yeah.
But the UMP banquet is one of either the biggest or the second biggest. I've been to both. But as far as trophy, it is the biggest because I'm building a 6-footer, 5-footer, 4-footer, 3-footer. Yeah. The challenge is not building them because I work all through December. Christmas Day, y'all might be celebrating Christmas. I'm building trophies.
That's amazing.
So my routine is I turn on the Christmas lights. Cars start going around, I'm building trophies. I walk out of the trophy room, I make sure all the lights are burning, I go back in and build trophies. I load the trophies up, I go through the Christmas lights, I put them down in that big red building down there. Then I come back up and build more, then take them down there. So I do it. It's a process. It's just a learning game. You just got to do it. But the challenge is getting them there. You got 300 to 500 trophies you're trying to get there.
Tractor trailer?
No, I just use a regular trailer, but and everybody complains, and I agree. I wish I could change them up too, but you can't. I got to get them there. So when you do this, I just move the colors around, and do the same thing because that's the only way to get them there. I don't know of any other way of getting them there unless you do something less, and I don't want to do anything less. So,
well, the name tag is most important. Who do you use? Do you engrave the?
I do that myself.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, I do that myself. I do it all here. Nothing's. I personally do every. Now the wife does it because I suck at spelling.
Yeah,
and I'm really terrible with. That's why I don't get on Facebook much because I would be one of them guys that don't know. I just don't have time. I look down and do something right quick, and I move on. I go like, man, I should have probably read that a little better, but I don't have time. I'm always doing something, so it's a nightmare when somebody texts me, and I'd rather somebody call me on the phone when we can talk, and I can still work.
You know what? William, I want to brag on you a little more here. And Sam Drigger's right. You try to act all country and everything, but when you look at Dale Earnhardt Sr., the greatest race car driver ever, he quit in the 8th grade. Somehow he learned how to add his money, married a good lady. But I mean, listen, our dream in life is you go to school, you go to college, and you're perfect. I call it, and forgive me, but I call it the Marilyn Manson song, the beautiful people, the beautiful people. I mean, it is hard, William, to be perfect. But buddy, you are the epitome of a complete badass.
I don't know about that, but
let's say you might not be able to spell right, but there's nobody as gangster as you. You get it all done. You make the money. It's America. And you're showing, I mean, who do you think is the most important person in your life besides you right now that helps you?
Of course, the wife. The wife's because she endures everything I endure. And then you got all your employees and everybody and your kids and your help and everybody. It takes a whole team to make things work. You cannot do it by yourself. You can't be a macho man and do it by yourself. I got a question to ask you. What's the hardest thing to do at a racetrack?
Win. But
what's the hardest thing to do at a racetrack?
For me as a race car driver?
No. As a promoter, what do you think? What do you think the hardest thing to do at a racetrack is?
Well, I know I'm not going to answer right, but I'm going to say it. Have a smooth racetrack surface.
No, you can't control that. Some of the weather does that.
Get a crowd.
That's not it.
Number one, get a crowd.
That's not it either.
Weather.
Opening the gates. Getting the gates open is the hardest thing to do.
Why? Tell me what
once the gates get open, It's an animal on its own. It takes its own thing and goes. The problem with opening gates, like I said when we started, you're 15, 20 minutes before, and your help don't show up. And this person ain't there. And that person ain't there. Then you've already let people in. Now you got to run them out. The most hard and stressful thing to do is get the gates open. Once the gates are open, the flow starts working. It's like a chain deal. It's just one chain after another. Just the links just fall right in place until you get to the end. Because I'm a person, once I get that thing started, I'm on to the next thing. So, but getting the gates open to me is the hardest thing to do at whether it's a dirt track or asphalt track or anything. It is the hardest thing to do because it's at that point you're trying to put a person here, a person there, a person this, cover that, cover this, cover that. And most people don't think of it that way. They just don't think, well, all you do is open the gate. Well, it's not that simple.
It just struck me odd. It hit me like a ton of bricks. You and Jerry Hoffman, who owns Springfield, Missouri.
Yep.
You are identical. We got, it's like people make fun of me. Wallace is crazy. Yes, I'm crazy. Stay away. You know, you're crazy. Jerry Hoffman's crazy. Us three, we are off center. And for the people that think they're just perfect, they're losers. They're losers. They work for people and they got the 401k. You and Jerry Hoffman, you are off centered, and that's what it takes to be successful. What you just told me, I mean, when you talk, you sound just like Jerry Hoffman. It takes a different person to do these dirt tracks because you're dealing with crazy people.
It does. And I think when we talk about the fan that gets on the Facebook and dog, whether we're right, whether we're wrong, and they're dogging us out, I'm not going to ever say I'm perfect because I'm not. But what they don't realize is this is a high stake casino.
Oh, good point.
Because let's take last Saturday night. $80,000 payout.
Jesus.
Saturday night, $80,000.
Oh my God.
Now what most people never understands that. But again, you do the 5 times. Late models 10. You got 2,000 or 3,000 to wins. Them are 5. So you start adding all this, then you got 500 to wins. Them are 5 times. You add all these 5 times up. So everybody walks in the gate saying, that guy's getting rich. What he don't realize is he's got to pay everyone in the cars to leave. And whether it's a mini stock, a pure mini, a cruiser, or a bone stock car, the person running the show, it doesn't matter if it's a super late model or not. It's all the same. We still have to pay them to leave. Now, yes, one's more than the other, but it averages out. So what I've always tried to do is look at the back gate and say, hey, it's going to cost me $130 a car tonight. So if you have 100 cars, your payout's $13,000 on a normal given regular night. But we are risking what people make 2 years in one night. Think about it. 2 years, Saturday night, 2 years worth of one guy's job. If he makes $40,000 a year, we're doing in 6 to 8 hours. Most people cannot understand or concept that and understand why ticket prices are where they are. We can talk all day about that too. You know, I was 50-30, so you average 40. So that's how you look at paying the 80. You need 2,000 people to break even. So when you go down these roads and you start doing these numbers and you look at it, yes, I had a good crowd, but it wasn't as good as people think it was. I know the number. I track everything. I've tracked everything for 26 years. I got notebooks of stuff and try to make it better. So when you see these racetracks with these prices out there, every racetrack has different characteristics. What people don't realize, I'm $1,000 a week in land taxes.
Yeah.
My land taxes are roughly around $50,000. So 52 weeks, this ain't rocket science. That's $1,000 a week. My electric bill is $10,000 a month. So when you get people like Bill at Kankakee and says he can't make it on this, I get it. It makes sense. What we need is the fans to understand. You go to a football game, you're paying $200-300 a ticket. You go to a race, you're paying $30-40 a ticket. It's a lot of different stuff, and we are risking a lot more than they are. So that's what I say. These people, our fans, and everybody on Facebook needs to understand. This is not easy to do. And there are a lot of racetracks that lose money because they just don't have their checks and balances in, and they want to pay too much when it's not really about the money in some aspects. Sometimes it is, most of the time it is not.
And everybody, that country boy right there, William Scogin, he just accidentally taught you that he can add. And that was a master class that you just put on, and it was normal to you, but you had it figured out. I heard you loud and clear. I got to get 2,000 people in here to break even. William, that was unbelievable. And you know, my hope is that you become happier, but I also think that, you know, I know you're not going. You said you've had 2 heart attacks. I understand the stress level. I'm your biggest fan. My hope for you is to help these other promoters. You know, who knows? You're probably going to build another racetrack.
No, I am not.
You're not. Okay, let's.
I'm not doing that.
Let's put it to bed, everybody. You're hearing it right here. What do you think? Okay, 2 years from now, when you're out of there, I think it's going to be 2 years. What you said, you don't know your next move. I think you should be a consultant for these racetracks. I think you go around America and.
Are you saying like bar rescue?
You got to rescue all these racetracks.
Bar rescue. It's like bar rescue. We got to do a drama show on it. Is that what we got to do?
You're gonna rescue all these racetracks. And what do you think, buddy? What do you think's, you know?
Oh, I am going to do a couple summer nationals. I told Sam I'd rent a couple of racetracks, do a couple.
Oh, now we're talking, everybody.
We've already got that in the works.
Good.
Of course, everybody has texted me. You know, the guy that bought Paducah texted me, "Hey, you need to buy my racetrack." Guy Camden, "Hey, you need to buy my racetrack." No, I don't need to buy another racetrack.
What's the deal with Paducah? I mean, love the facility, but is it in purgatory? That track at times will get big crowds. And then
Adam is a great person. I thank the world of Adam. I tried when Bob told me he sold it to Adam. I said, "Well, have Adam come down." So the first time he ever come down, we were sitting at lunch, and I said, "Don't buy
it." Yeah, exactly.
Said, and Bob would kill me if he heard this. I said, "Don't buy it." I said, "Don't do it. You're not gonna." He said, "Oh, I done bought it." I said, "Okay." I said, "First thing you need to do is cut it down. It needs to be cut down." I said, "Look, I'll give you anything." I personally think, and this is going to contradict some other people, but a racetrack closing down doesn't help. It hurts. Most of your racers are going to quit. They're not going to move to another racetrack. You're going to lose 50% of your racers because they're not going to go to another racetrack.
I agree.
So when Paducah went out, I hate racetracks going out. So I told Adam, I said, "I will give you anything you need to help you." So I loaned him a sheep's foot. I loaned him. I've done everything I could. And I said, "I will come to your first night." It was a Friday night drag strip. I suffered back here, but I went up there. And we're standing there, and everything is going wrong because that's just the way it is. Everything kind of goes wrong. So we're standing there, and I said, "Adam, look out there." Couldn't get them in fast enough. I said, Don't think this is the way it's going to be. This is just, it's going to die off. I said, "You're going to have this a few weeks, but it's going to die off." I said, "You have got to do things to trigger this, to make it." So we went on, the night got done, and he had a great night. But the problem is, it's just, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it's too big. It has to be cut down. If he would cut it down, I really do think that he would have a great facility. Not that it ain't great. It's just hard on motors. And I think that was the problem with Bob and everybody. It's just hard on motors. It's got to be cut down. So
we're coming to the end, everybody. And I'm not going to sing, but I'm going to say the words of this song, and I want you to comment on it. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise and put in a parking lot. So you just talked about Paducah. It had been shut down. And then they opened it up, and there was this big crowd because, oh, it's back. It's back. And then a couple of weeks go by and they forget about it again. What is the deal with the human brain that when something's gone, they miss it and they come out, but then they just forget about it and they leave it to die?
I don't know if I could answer that, Kenny. I don't know. I don't know if I have a good answer for that. We are as people, just the times have changed. You know, I remember when I bought this place, it was we had 2 street stock features. Now you're lucky to get
cars.
1. Yes. I mean, so, and I don't think it's anything we have done. I don't think it's anything Adam's done. I think it's just the nature of what we are. If I look, and I cover every demographic there is in the racing world with everything I do, the dirt track is probably the one suffering the most because it's the most work. You know how long it takes on your car. Oh. And these kids nowadays don't want to work. So my Midnight Madness, it starts after the bracket show on the drag strip. And it's all kids in their personal vehicles making trip. I can run 500 times down the drag strip.
It's amazing.
A night. You can't imagine how, because as soon as they get to the traps, I'm sending the next set of cars. And it's different. So the bracket racing is one thing. They hate the Midnight Madness. The Midnight Madness hates the bracket. So I got to keep them apart as they're coming in and out. And then you get to the drifting, which is totally different. They hate the donut guys. So you got to, and even though they're about the same, it's really tough to understand these different markets and do these different things. That's why you got to have somebody help you and understand what they need to trigger their, I'm going to use the drug habit again because that's what it is. It's a fix.
True. It's true.
It's a fix. So I don't know if I can answer that question of why this or that happens, but you just got to get in there and you got to hustle and you got to find the right person to do the right thing.
I know for a fact next week I'm going to talk to you and you're going to go, you know what I forgot to say? So as we end up here, my friend, and we celebrate, and now listen, I know you're getting into Christmas and you got a lot of work to do. I get it. What else about this crazy sport? I say that there's this new societal shift. That's the word I use. They say, Herman, what has happened to racing? I say it's really not the racing's fault. I said it's this big societal shift. It's like NASCAR. I don't think it's all NASCAR. I think it's all these TV channels and the phone. What's one of the last things that you can think of in your mind with this new societal shift and watching you survive? What else do you got to say?
Well, we can talk about the TV just a second. You know, everybody says in our sport, the broadcasts have killed racing. I'm going to argue that a little bit. On the local level, it has helped. On the touring stuff, it has hurt. So when I say that is, I can sit here and watch my TV. Well, there's a guy walking down. He's here and got it on his phone. So he's double dipping. And then I look at the email address, and this guy in Washington that can't come watches. So that was a guy I never got. So I disagree the TV hurting the local deal until you bring the Lucas Oil around or the World Outlaw or Hunt the Front or something. Yes, that's a whole different animal. Because now, Summer National, same way. We all argued, hey, we don't want TV in this because it's taken from the gate. Yes, I think in some of that aspect it is. You got a 30-day grind. The guy don't want to go every time. He can watch it on TV. Not to saying the model's broke, not saying it is. We just as racetrack promoters say we need more and more and more, just like the drivers say they need more and more and more. Yeah. Everybody needs more. But I don't think the TV has hurt us as bad as they assume it's hurt us. It only hurts on the bigger shows, not the smaller shows, in my opinion. Because I see my numbers and I know where I am. But I think everybody needs to relax on that and learn how to work it together better. In other words, I get everybody thinking they need more money. Because honestly, it has made racing a better aspect with the TV than without it in the long run.
I'm thinking of my big brother, Rusty Wallace, right now. His in Rusty's life, it's his wife, Patty, and then it's Roger Penske. And Roger, Rusty told me I like to emulate my lifestyle after Roger Penske. So Roger says, Rusty, you got to think big. the most dealerships you can have. So Rusty's now at 10 dealerships. And you're telling me you got to pay more. Everything's got to be more. I got 12 rental homes. I need more so I can get more money per month. Is that where we're at right now? These super late model motors. I talked to Brian Shirley. I talked to all of them. $60,000 for a Ford Durham super late model motor. So now $10,000 to win is not enough. Now we're going to 12 grand. So it's more. I hope I explained myself. Everybody's more dealerships, more rental homes.
Yep.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, I think you got to sit back and look at the overall picture and understand what helps, what don't help. And I don't think the TV is hurt as bad as everybody thinks. Yes, on the bigger shows, I'm going to say that, yes, there needs to be an adjustment there so the racetracks can afford to do them. The problem is when you got a Lucas Oil, Hunter Front, you got a, and I'm using late models as more of an example than anything. But when them guys roll in and you got that 5 times that purse, plus a sanctioning fee, plus you got to advertise, plus you got your bills, that one set of cars, then 124 set of cars, you're at 75,000 before you know it.
God almighty. Yeah.
And most people can't understand. It's hard to do that week after week.
Well, there he is, everybody. I believe we did it. He's got, how old are you, William?
Really?
I'm 62.
I am 59.
Yeah, you got a long way to go, buddy. But
I don't know about that.
well, listen. Congratulations. We're celebrating the racetrack. You're going to keep going. Nobody's dead here. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we are celebrating the Clarksville Speedway, and you got another year or so left. But congratulations, my friend.
Well, I appreciate it, and I would like to thank all my family. My family's been a big help. My sister, my brother, they have done it. Anytime I needed something, they come. My employees, you can't do it without employees, even though sometimes you go like, gosh, I wish I had better employees, but it is what it is. And then the fans. Without the fans, we are nothing. And the drivers and the sponsors. Everybody that's helped me along in my career, I deeply appreciate it so much. They'll never know how much, because this is not a one person's job. This is ours. I never said I own the racetrack. I said this is our racetrack. What happens here, yes, I have to pay the piper, pay the bills, make sure everything's going. But really, I never let a guy say, well, it's your race. No, it's our racetrack. So every driver's meeting I went to, I tried to make it where they are a part of it. My drivers meeting are colorful, and I drop the F word a lot. So, but that's the way it is. But I want everybody to have a good time, and at some point you got to be serious, and sometimes you got to call a guy out. So I hope in my career I done it the best I could. Not saying I could have done better, but after fact, you think, I should have did this, should have did that. There's not a day goes by. But I do appreciate everybody and anybody that had a part of this. I couldn't have done it without them.
We're in war, buddy. When you're in the heat of the battle, there's nobody cusses more than me. So you're just fine, my friend. Okay, everybody, there he is, the great William Scogin. And as of right now, the signature is on the line. He's got a little bit more to go this winter, but for the most part, the Clarksville Speedway is gone.
Come see the Christmas lights. We got 2 more years of that for sure.
That's right, everybody. Okay, listen. Go ahead, William. Go ahead, William.
I got to take it somewhere else.
Then you're going to take it somewhere else, probably into the city of Clarksville, Tennessee.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Listen up, everybody. As we say at the end of all the time, if you want to see William's pretty face, you can watch this right here on the Kenny Wallace YouTube show. If you want to listen to it as you're driving down Interstate 24, 64, 57, turn on Dirty Mo Media, and you'll listen to it there on podcast. Until the next Kenny Conversation, we'll see you next time, everybody. Goodbye.